Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Bihar government yesterday released the caste census data. In fact, the caste survey data reveals that OBC, SCs, and STs account for about 84% of the Bihar population, which is roughly around 13 crores. There was a religion-wise breakup also, where more than 80% were Hindus and about a little less than 75% is the Hindu population, and about 17.7% of the population is that of Muslims. Now, this caste survey data is considered to be historic as far as the Nitish Kumar government is concerned, and of course the India Alliance, which has hugely welcomed the step towards reforming the society. Whereas if you look at the NDA and its allies, they have said that it's a complete eyewash and it is a divisive tactics. Now that the data has been released, of course, all eyes would be on what Nitish Kumar government does. But the million-dollar question which everyone is asking, has Nitish Kumar ushered in Mandal 2.0? Can this Mandal 2 politics demolish the politics of Hindutva of BJP? And of course, what are the other challenges in terms of political alignments, in terms of the caste combinations working out politically, socially? Joining me now is veteran journalist and author Neerja Chaudhary. Thank you so much, Neerja, for joining on the Federal. And my first question to you, Neerja, really is that how would you really look at the caste survey data which has been released by the Nitish Kumar government, according to you? Yes.
I believe that Mandal 2 is well and truly here. And I remember Vishwanath Pratap Singh, who in 1990 brought in the Mandal report, which gave 27% reservations to the OBCs in government jobs. And he got the genie out of the bottle, which could never be put back again. And he himself had said this. In fact, he said a very interesting thing to me, which I've quoted in my book, recent book.
Yes, ma'am.
Knowingly or unknowingly, he tapped into the aspirational revolution that was taking place amongst the OBCs. And he gave it a voice. So it was not a question of 44,000 jobs being reserved for the OBCs. That's hardly a number in the central government undertakings. It was, as he would say, giving them satta mein shirkat. A voice in the politics of the country. And that process has gone on. No government after him was able to reverse that process. The court endorsed it. Of course, there has been a huge debate around creamy layer and the ceiling of reservations being fixed at 50% and so on. There have been many variations of that debate, with even intermediate castes like the Maratha, Jats, Gujars now asking for reservations. So today, when Nitish Kumar comes out, or yesterday when he came out with the caste census, and this has been a demand of the opposition parties, the India Alliance, he has shown in Bihar that the number of OBCs is larger than the 1931 census put it at 52%. Now, as a result, there will be a demand that their quota be increased. If they are 63% of the country today, and they have 27% reservation, this is going to be a natural corollary.
Right.
My question is also another. My question is, will there be a demand that there be seats reserved for them in parliament and state assemblies? Because they have demanded a quota within a quota for OBC women.
Right.
As a result of the Women Reservation Bill. And if that is the demand, then male OBCs will also ask, if there's going to be a quota for OBC women, why not for men? Why not for the whole category? Right. So is this a direction in which we are moving?
No, but, of course, if what you are saying, if that is the case, and even the men start asking for quotas in assemblies and in parliament, now does that open up Pandora's box legally as well? I mean, will it not be seen as a very big legal challenge?
Yes, legally, it's going to get caught in a whole lot of, it's going to be a minefield. But that is a separate story. Of course, what it shows about a democracy is that power is devolving. With one person, one vote, power is now devolving, and that the extremely backward amongst the OBCs, which is 36% in Bihar, they have become a very powerful category. It's a party category.
Right.
Narendra Modi. The extremely backward have turned to Narendra Modi. Now, to say that the OBCs will be voting as one whole, 63%, it will be a mistake. Because there are the tensions between the upper caste OBCs like Yadavs, Kurmis, Kushwahas, Vash. They are the four main categories who come in what is called the BCs in Bihar. And then there are the over 200 small castes which are called the EBCs.
Right.
Nai, Dhobi, Teli, etc., etc.
Yeah, yeah.
So these EBCs are becoming also very conscious, and there may be tensions, say between dominant, there have been tension between dominant Yadavs, for instance, in an area, and EBC communities. So it's not certain that they will naturally, automatically go together. Now, for the moment, if you look at it, look at the scenario today, the caste census will help Nitish Kumar in the elections, because he is trying to forge an alliance of OBCs, which is BCs as well as EBCs, a section of the EBCs, and the minorities. It will make a good chunk. So they are on the front foot at the moment. How will it leave the BJP? What is the card they are going to play? For the moment, they've called it divisive. Their card will be nationalism. Their card will be Hindutva. They will try and unite the castes under the Hindutva umbrella. But they could also play the EBC card, so that this large category of OBCs does not vote one way for the opposition.
But Neerja, there's another fear. We can talk about how BJP will counter, but as far as Nitish Kumar government is concerned, or the India Alliance partners are concerned, there is also a feeling that will they be able to use this opportunity to the hilt? There is a fear that it might lead to a deepening fault line, within the various castes. It might lead to a greater polarization. Now, does that fear not exist? Of course, the data is there. They have released the data, but what they'll do with that data is another big question. And will they be able to do it successfully?
You see, as I said, the Nitish Kumar and his colleagues have been for a caste census because they suspected that OBC number has increased over the years, and the census shows this. And therefore, they feel the OBCs that support them will be happy about it, the demands will rise, and that will become the political theme. So the implementation of caste census and their rights as a result of the caste census, demand for their increased rights as a result, will be a theme, a poll theme, is bound to be a poll theme. And but the other side, Narendra Modi-led side, Narendra Modi is an OBC prime minister, a point that he has recently made himself. So far, for almost 10 years, it was something that the mama was go around and, to the OBCs during poll time. But it was never frontally used. Recently, for the first time, Prime Minister himself has said this. So that card they will play certainly. Remember, unlike in the 90s, where the fault lines were along Mandal versus Kamandal.
Kamandal, yeah.
Mandal, the caste polarization under social justice, as they talked, the socialists had given, versus Kamandal, equal to the building of the Aram temple and Hindu nationalism. Today, though that polarization is not clear, because the Modi-led BJP has used Mandal and Kamandal.
Right.
Both are part of their, what is the formula that they put out. As I keep saying, that it is, Hindutva, it is nationalism, national pride, it is social welfareism, it is OBC mobilization, particularly the EBC mobilization.
Right.
Dalit plus Dalit. Now in Bihar, Chirag Paswan has gone towards the NDA. Jitin Manjhi, who represents the Musahar, very lowly Musahar caste amongst the Dalits, has gone to the NDA again. So Dalits are also going to be divided. So I think, and of course, on Narendra Modi's side is a popular leader, strong leader, no family into, so that's going to be there. Of course, they have to contend with anti-incumbency.
Right, Neerja, to say that, with this caste survey data which has been released, BJP would really be caught off guard? Would it be right to say, or is it premature? We'll have to wait and see how things unfold, how BJP counters it.
You see, in Bihar, definitely, as I say, they've got a weapon in their hand that Nitish Kumar led government and that alliance will use. And remember, in 2015, the coming together of Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav yielded very rich dividends for them. And at that time, if you recall, Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, had talked about question reservations continuing, and they had to beat a hasty retreat. And that gave a fillip to the Mahagathbandhan. So yes, they have an advantage in Bihar, and it is bound to have a ripple effect in the Hindi heartland states. No doubt about that. But I would say, let's see the cards that the other side take out to play. And one of the cards, I think, could be the report of the G. Rohini Commission report.
Right.
That's submitted. And that report was looking at how the quota was being utilized. 27% quota for OBCs. Much of it was going to the upper caste OBCs like Yadavs and Kurmis. And the EBCs were being neglected in the job reservation. So if this is a recommendation, it's not been made public yet, but if this is a recommendation, then we will see what impact it has on the extremely backward caste. So it's too early to come to any conclusion, but certainly it's given INDIA alliance a poll narrative.
So we were talking about a couple of challenges, which are there. And you said that, we'll have to wait and see how Narendra Modi counters it. And you also said that, like last time, that it was a pure fight of Kamandal versus the Mandal. But this time, what are the options available with BJP? Because the kind of social engineering they've done, the Labharthi politics, they practice. So is it going to be a tough challenge for BJP, or you see them smoothly sailing and they'll tide over this as well, like they usually
do? BJP under Narendra Modi is not what the BJP was. Earlier, it was a Brahmin Banya party. From the day he took over, and his first speech after being sworn in as Prime Minister in 2014, he referred to the poor people. He used the word poor in his speech. And since then, he has, the base of the BJP has widened. Today, the base of the BJP includes not just the upper caste. It includes the OBCs, it includes the Dalits, it includes the tribals. Making of Draupadi Murmu as the president of India sent, certain messages to the tribal community, even though it's not an executive position. So Narendra Modi has been widening the base. He successfully managed to do it. And even in the 2019 elections, 44% of OBCs voted for him. So they are not going to sit back and say to the opposition, you talk about the OBCs, you talk about caste census in the country, therefore the OBCs are going to be yours. In fact, a senior cabinet minister from the BJP told me not long ago, he said, what we are concerned about is retaining the support of the OBC. They were not concerned about other communities so much. Right. So they know. I think so. Let's expect them to pull some rabbits out of the hat also. And it's going to be a very interesting contest in 2024. It's hotting up. The election season is well and truly here now. You and I can look forward to things. So becoming more and more interesting, turbulent. But I can say this, that, power has been devolving in our democracy two communities that had so far been on the peripheries of the power structure. Now they are clamoring for their share. Economic, political, social recognition.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
Absolutely. And it does indicate a positive sign as far as the reforming the society is concerned, as far as various castes are concerned. But I also want to talk about, very briefly about Nitish Kumar's positioning now with the India Alliance and now other states also, like, say, for example, Digvijay Singh yesterday said that if Congress comes to power in Madhya Pradesh, we'll also conduct a caste census. Now, obviously, there'll be more pressure on the opposition ruling states as well. But what about Nitish Kumar's positioning within the India Alliance?
I think this move by Nitish Kumar has strengthened his position. You know, when Nitish Kumar met Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi some months ago, I was told that they told him that Rahul was not in the reckoning for 2024 for the top position. Subsequently, Mallikarjun announced this, that the Congress would not claim the top position, prime ministerial position, were the opposition to be in a position to form the government. So that being the case, Nitish Kumar is well placed. Of course, he has this odium of having flip-flopped so many times, you know, from this side to that side to back to this side. So there is that bit about him. But otherwise, in terms of acceptance as the leader of the INDI alliance, I don't know whether they're going to project the prime ministerial candidate, probably not. But even as a convener, the chiefship of the India Alliance has not yet been announced, whatever name you give it. Right. So for, you know, his position is strengthened with this move.
Right. But what happens to the politics of the EBCs? Now, does this caste census also give a fillip to the politics of the EBCs? Because you said it in your initial statement that, you know, now these extremely backward castes will also clamor for their share. Now, we've always seen the politics of the Yadavs, the politics of the OBCs, but now will the politics of EBCs become a new phenomenon now on the turf?
Absolutely. And the problem with them is there are so many little communities, over 200 of them in Bihar alone. So, and they don't have one leader, one acceptable leader. So that is the problem. Who fills that slot now?
Right.
It'll be up for grabs.
Right.
And Narendra Modi may try and fill that. He has, without, you know, tried to fill that, or he has claimed the leadership of these communities. And many of them, the smaller castes, look to him. Right. I was, you know, talking to somebody, a fellow journalist, and he was sitting in his village in Bihar yesterday, remote village in Bihar. And he was saying, I was talking to these EBCs, and they said to me, hum to Narendra Modi ke saath hain. Right. You know, they fear the Yadav dominance. Yeah. So these kind of things will come into play, where the whole, where the level of water will settle finally, remains to be seen. It depends on the cards both sides play. Right. And but to answer your question, yes, the EBCs are going to be more vocal, more demanding, more conscious of their numbers. Right. In a democracy where there is a one person, one vote. Right. And if they are 36%, that's a huge number. Right.
Two questions and then we'll wind up the show. One, of course, is that how would RSS react to this caste survey data? Are we going to see some change in their stance? Of course, recently we heard what Mohan Bhagwat said, that, you know, we have to take care of the pichdas and the ati pichdas. There has been historical injustice done to them. But in reality, and if you look at the practical terms, how would RSS really react to this?
And he also said, if I remember right, that if reservations have to continue for the next 200 years, so be it. Yes. Now, that's a very big statement to come from the RSS. So I think they have their eyes set on the ati pichda, the pichda, right, and winning them over. I don't think RSS is going to, you know, no party had opposed caste census in Bihar.
Right.
And it's nationally that, you know, The BJP has called it divisive. And so I don't know. The BJP stand state-wise, nationally, probably we'll see a fine-tuning of it in the coming days.
Right.
And the RSS equally so.
Right. Last question is that, if you talk about the individual parties, whether it is the regional parties or the national parties, now this caste survey data, does it put pressure on the political parties also? Say, for example, while the distribution of the tickets, considering them for posts. Now, does this throw open a Pandora's box for every party as well? That, how they will accommodate the EBCs, the OBCs, the Yadavs, and the smaller communities. So is this a big challenge, in the way the party structures are going to be built now?
Yes, I think it will put pressure, just as the women reservation bill is not going to be implemented, say, for the next 10 years from
Right.
the looks of it. But it will put pressure on the parties to give more tickets to women. So also this caste census could put pressure on political parties to give more tickets to the EBCs, to the OBCs. And that has been going on also.
Right.
For the Home Minister to tell Parliament that there are 85 Lok Sabha MPs of the BJP who are OBCs. That's a large number, 29%, almost 1/3. So it's been a natural phenomenon. What one fears is, could it lead to confrontation of the type we saw in 1990,
Right.
which led to the immolation by young people, thinking the doors were going to be closed on them to jobs, and the joblessness growing and livelihoods being a major, major issue in the country and will become more so in the coming months and years. That is the worrying part, I hope, the political cards being played to win elections, to win the allegiance of communities, does not harm the long-term interests of the country.
You do fear that there could be a social backlash because of this?
Yes, there could be. I hope there isn't, but there could be.
Right. Well, we all can just hope that nothing untoward happens, but we'll have to wait and watch how the political parties, conduct themselves in the coming months, because, of course, general elections are around the corner. Thank you so much, Neerja, for joining the Federal. Always a pleasure having you on the program. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview: subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.